Welcome everyone to more political chatter. This 2024 election prediction will be between Joe Biden, the incumbent president, and Mike Lindell. Again, 2024. Mike Lindell is the founder of My Pillow. I'm sure you've seen him in a commercial. His home state is Minnesota. That won't really make a difference, though. He will not win the state of Minnesota. He is probably more known, however, with working with the former president Donald Trump, with just being a huge supporter of Donald Trump and the right-wing faction of the Republican Party. He is extremely conservative, and he will appeal definitely to Trumpian voters, and I could see him doing pretty well among white working-class voters, kind of like the Trump feel in 2016, the silent majority who feel like their voice is not being heard, especially, during the Obama administration, right? But California, Oregon, Washington will not change. D.C., Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Vermont will not change. New York, Illinois, and Hawaii will not change. Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Kansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska at large. Nebraska's first, Nebraska's third. Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, West Virginia, and Indiana will not change. Moving on to likely states, these are states where they're definitely going to go to Mike Lindell. However, they're not going to go to him for over 15%, right? So that will include states like Alaska. States like Texas, I could see Mike Lindell doing pretty good. I think you would turn out Republicans in Texas, and that's all you have to do. You have to turn out Republicans in Texas, and I think if Trump could do it in 2020, sure, the state is becoming more Democratic, but I think Mike Lindell could do it in 2024 if Trump could do it in 2020, right? Sorry, I forgot to do Maine at large. Maine at large and Maine's first would be solid Democratic. I'm sorry, not Maine at large. Maine at large would be likely for Joe Biden. Maine's second would be likely for Mike Lindell. Let's see. New Mexico and Colorado. I don't really see Mike Lindell doing pretty well in this state. I could see him winning a few votes in Colorado, really. I think he could do pretty good. But he definitely will not make it a lean margin. He will not make it a margin for Joe Biden less than 5%. Biden will win by more than 5% here. It's as simple as that. But Biden's unpopularity will boost. I'm sorry, I thought I heard some. Will boost Mike Lindell significantly. It's as simple as that. Joe Biden is unpopular, and that's going to hurt him. Arizona, I think would go to Mike Lindell by a tilt margin. I could see him turning out Republicans here. I think he would turn out white working class voters that feel like their voice is not being heard, just like what Trump did in 2016. But really, Mike Lindell's extremely radical, and Nevada is a pretty moderate state that will be too radical. Where Mike Lindell will be too radical for the state. I think the Democrats will hang on to the state of Nevada. Nebraska's second. I think this would be a flip. I think this would be a very close district. It really doesn't matter, only one electoral vote. But I could see Mike Lindell having some Midwestern appeal. And that Midwestern appeal will carry this district. Midwestern appeal will win him the state of Iowa. I think he could win it by a likely margin. Ohio's a little different. This is, kind of getting away from that Midwest. But I do think he could still hold on to the state of Ohio. I think it would be a bit more narrow. I think it would be more of a lean margin. Just because families, parents are going to, there's a lot of suburbs in Ohio, right? I could see parents kind of turning away from Mike Lindell more than farmers in Iowa, if you know what I mean. Okay, moving on to the state of Georgia. You might disagree on me with this one, but I do think Georgia would go tilt Biden. It's just because Stacey Abrams is the leading voice here, and she is going to slam Mike Lindell so much. Mike Lindell simply too right-wing for Georgia. If Trump was, Mike Lindell, I believe, is more right-wing than Donald Trump. I really do. Georgia rejected Trump. I think that they would also reject Mike Lindell. Moving on to North Carolina, the Democratic leader Roy Cooper is simply less outspoken than Stacey Abrams, and North Carolina is a bit more conservative than Georgia, and I really do think that they will accept Lindell's stance a bit more than Georgia. Moving on to Virginia, Mike Lindell is going to be completely rejected in the state of Virginia. Glenn Youngkin won the governorship by distancing himself away from Trump and being more moderate rather than conservative. Mike Lindell is the complete opposite. He worked with Trump and he's extremely right-wing. In New Hampshire, the same thing. It's too conservative for Mike Lindell, and I do think that it would go to Biden by a likely margin. I really do. Michigan, exact same thing. I mean, we have Democratic leaders here who will extremely hate Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell will have some appeal here, but it won't be enough in a state like Michigan. But you might be surprised. I do think it would be enough in the state of Wisconsin. I really do. I think his appeal here will be even stronger than Trump's in 2016. I think he would win the people in the state. But Pennsylvania is a no. Pennsylvania will go to Joe Biden, I believe, by a lean margin. I mean, there's a lot of parents in the state from families, and I really don't see it happening. I do think Mike Lindell would lose in the state of Pennsylvania. So thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe or consider subscribing. Check out all my other videos, and I hope to see you all soon.